Okay, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today's the 20th and it's raining. It's been raining all day. 20th of February in 2018, and it's been a very, very rainy day. I don't know how many inches have come down, but a lot. You look at this field right here. It's a big puddle for the little kids to play in. And this is my grow area, and you know, I could be kind of disheartened by this, by the looks of this, but I'm not. And what I wanted to talk about was a concept known as frost seeding. Frost, F-R-O-S-T seeding. And this is something that you can do with pigs. Now let's say that I had moved these guys off of here yesterday and the field looked like this. You see this? This is a field that you see nothing but dirt. Nothing but dirt, actually mud right now. See a bunch of turds laying on top, but there's really nothing that they could eat. It's all gone. And I gave them this just a little while ago, a nice green bale. I also got something else that's kind of interesting to see. These are weanlings. I just took them away from their mother the day before yesterday, and there's 8 more of them down there that we couldn't catch. But they're separated from this group, right? And they look really good. Really, really good. These guys are much older here, but here they are going wild on this hay. And these guys, I did not feed them this morning because I knew I wanted to get them started on hay. So here they go. They got a good start. They got a little hut here to get in and get out of the weather, and these guys have their huts. But I'm not going to frost seed this field, but it's something that can be done. The reason I'm not going to do that is because I want to work in a lot of this bedding and a lot of the hay bales that they kind of spread them out, and by the time it's, you know, May, I'll come here and I'll disc that in and it'll push it right in. And then I want to make this look nice, level it out, and I want to plant it because this is like in close proximity to the house. So this is what I see, and I just it's an experiment, so I want to see how much, if I can increase my forages per square foot. So that's why I won't be frost seeding this, but it's something that you could do. I've done it on other fields, and it's a time saver, especially if you don't have any equipment to turn the ground up. Now this is turned up by them, and what I could do is I could come out here and I could broadcast seed right now, and as the dirt freezes again, I'm sure it'll get cold again, and then it breaks back open when it gets warm. That process happens a lot. It opens and closes, it opens and closes, and those seeds will get down in. Some of them will sit on top and won't go in until next year when, you know, the frosting cycle happens. But a lot of them will get in now, and you can get some pretty decent growth. And let's say this was a bigger field and I wasn't going to have time to get to it, or maybe I lived in Florida or something and I went down to Florida in the wintertime. You could ride over this with a snowmobile and seed it right onto the snow. Hopefully you get some more snow on top of it so the birds don't get it all, but they wouldn't get it all. And then when the snow goes, it would settle down on the dirt, and then the frosting process would happen, and a lot of them would get in, and you could get some decent growth out of it. I've done it before and it's worked out pretty good, but now I have a little bit of equipment that I can use, so I don't really need to do that anymore. So that's frost seeding, and it can be done, you know, right now. It can be done when there's snow on the ground and it will work, and it's something that folks should consider if they're in this pasturing business. Here's a field. This was an experiment. I planted gopher radishes out here. Never heard of them before, but they had them at the co-op, so I got a bag of them. And they came up. Man, they came up good. That was back in September. And they got to be about 6 inches tall. This was completely covered. And we got snow on it. Snow melted down a little bit. They still look pretty good. And then we got a deep freeze and it killed them all. So I highly doubt I'm going to have any gopher radishes out here. And so therefore I'm not going to be able to move these guys from here over to here. So I have to make some different provisions. And I got an idea. This field is something people should consider, I think. Okay, it's 300 long, 100 wide. The perimeter of it's fenced with hard fence, woven wire, and then I have electric standoff on the inside. That is 100 by 100 right there. The one I'm on is 100 by 100, and the next one over is 100 by 100. So I have 3 100 by 100s just together. And the idea is that you can rotate the animals around. You can grow in between the times when you have them in there. And it's neat when you start doing it because you realize there's a lot of flexibility. On 100 by 100, 30 animals could take down quite a bit of forages pretty quick. So I don't know. I think I'd want to go a little bit bigger than this with this many animals on it. I got 32 out here right now. But we'll see. I got another field I can stick these guys on because I do want to plow this up. I want to see how far down my topsoil has gone. And, you know, I want to do a little bit of testing. And I also want to do some draining here. I want to drain this water someplace else. There's another field over there that I'd like to have a little bit of a pond on for a summer place for water to accumulate that comes off the barns and stuff. We have big puddles and I don't really want puddles. I'd rather have it someplace where I can utilize it. And, you know, like it could be blazing hot in the summertime and then bam, you get a thunderstorm and all of a sudden you've got a pond. And the animals can use that and they can have a lot of fun in it. And if you have a place like that for the pigs especially, they'll go and they will wallow in it, and it gives them, you know, if they have any kind of skin condition or if they get any kind of mites or lice or anything like that, which they shouldn't, but if they did, that would take care of it. You don't want to be spraying anything on their coat because you're going to put them out of balance, and then when you won't come back into balance right away. That pendulum's going to swing hard both ways. You don't want that. So anyway, frost seeding. It's something you can consider. We've done it. It works. It's economical. You don't need anything to do it. If you don't have a spreader, you can just throw them out there by hand. Also, if you're stacking the deck in your soil base, if you want to stack up the seed base in there, it's a good way to do it. Now, I could do that in this case. I could just get a lot of seed out here that I'm not really too concerned about where it's going to wind up, and I know I'm going to plow it back down before it germinates. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I could do that. They wouldn't hurt it. They'd push it in kinda. So that wouldn't be a bad idea. But I am gonna dig this down probably 6 inches to turn it over. You know, my plows go about 6 inches very easily, 8, you know. And so that would put those seeds down kind of deep, but you know, I would bring them back up at another time. So it's not gonna hurt anything to do that. And you're talking, I mean, to cover this with enough gopher radishes, you're talking about $4 maybe at the most. So that's something to consider. Got a lot of biochar out here. This dirt is in good shape. All this manure that they've put out here for us, I'm expecting a massive crop this year. I'm at 9:43. Hey, this is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.